Well, after Celanese, I went to Texaco, Canada, as an operator. It was supposed to be a temporary job because they wanted people with skills to mothball, shut down, clean, and mothball the Texaco refinery because it was going to be sold to Chile. So they were going to break everything down, ship it to Chile, and remount it. So they wanted it done in a reasonably good fashion, not junked. It had, everything. So it was supposed to be 3 months. It took about 9 months to do it. And I did my job, and I was liked, like, I don't know if it's personality and knowledge combined in one.
What was happening to the oil industry here? Why there was
Nothing was happening. It just went downhill. There was no demand for oil in the 80s.
Okay.
And we weren't diversified here in Alberta enough. And China was buying oil, but they were buying a lot of cheap oil from Venezuela. And the States, I guess, this is a contentious issue. The States still think that our oil in Fort McMurray is dirty oil when they're buying Arabian oil, which is more dirty in blood money, and our oil is clean. Our environmental responsibility here in Alberta is great, as far as environmental polluting the atmosphere compared to the United States. But if the States is the biggest consumer in the world, consumer of oil and oil products, so if they're not buying from you, you're in trouble.
So what makes the oil clean or dirty?
Clean is environment. Pollution is one. And we think it's more on the environment is one, and the other one is politics.
But the oil is extracted from the ground, right?
Yeah, when they say dirty or oil, we're not talking about actual dirt. Dirty oil produced, they say, the north, a lot of it is mining.
Okay.
And they figure when you dig up the dirt and you take the oil out, you don't put it back as it was before, which is wrong. So they call it dirty oil. And then the pollution involved.
Isn't it processed? Isn't it refined?
Yeah, it's refined. The oil is refined. So dirty is not the word, not what's the word I'm looking for? It's not, in Venezuela.
Before it's processed?
Yeah. And there are two ways of getting oil from the ground, right?
Because in the media you'll see terms like slurry or pits. You'll see references to processing.
Right.
So it's extracted and it doesn't go through the same kinds of processes that you think should be done, or?
Yeah.
Does it get from dirty to clean?
Oh, it's not dirty in the sense of the word dirty.
I mean, from crude oil.
Yeah. Okay, there's two types of crude extraction. One is mining, which is Fort McMurray and the north. Most of it is open pit mining. Getting it from the oil sands, which Alberta is covered in the oil sands. So that's a form of extraction. But then there's also drilling, where you get the crude in liquid form.
Okay.
But you have to separate the H2S, which is deadly, and other things that you get it before you put it in the fractionating column to process it.
The fractionating column.
Yeah. You have to break it up. You just can't take oil and throw it in your gas tank,
Yes.
right? It has so many parts to oil. You have the heavy cut, lower cut, medium cut, and then the top cut. Gasoline is probably on the upper end. Then you have lube oil, which is a little heavier. And then you could take that now and break it up or react it with catalyst and change the whole complexity of it to use it for something else. So it's diverse like you wouldn't believe it. No, a lot of people don't know that. Mm-hmm. They just think of oil as gas for cars.
Kerosene and other products.
Yeah, and then when you don't know, you don't know. I mean, the normal average Joe would not know that. That almost everything is made with oil. That's why it's so much in demand in the world. Yes.
What other industries depend
well,
on oil?
petrochemical is a byproduct of oil and gas.
Right.
And power, your electricity for your homes is gas produced. Your plastic industry, which is so big in the world right now, parts for cars, chemicals. I was reading today, I worked in an alpha alcohol plant in China. And alpha alcohol is a byproduct of oil, and it's used for the perfume industry. So nobody thinks of that. Perfume. If you add it for the sweet smell to all the stuff, it has a flowery sweet smell. Mm-hmm. So there's endless.
Okay. So you're saying we can't do without oil?
No, not at this point in time. Mm-hmm. There's no replacement. The replacement will be running cars, but you still have to produce electricity. And you have to use oil and gas to burn it, to make steam, to run turbines, to make electricity. So you still have to use oil or gas. It's water treatment, where we take water from the river. Without water, a refinery can't run. We use water for cooling and everything. But you bring the raw water from the river, you treat it to treated water, run it through for cooling, for making power. Water makes steam to run generators for electricity. And then we use the wastewater after that into big ponds. We treat that and we put the water back in the river. Cleaner and better environmentally than when we took it out, where we took it from. That's a Alberta government stipulation. So we did. And that takes a lot of money and effort to do that. In some countries, they just throw the water back to the river and they kill, like in Uzbekistan, the Sirdarya and Amudarya rivers. You see, have the biggest sturgeons in the world, fish. Now you can't find them. Or the Aral, they flowed into the Aral Sea. This is the USSR now. And the Aral Sea now is uninhabited. Nothing lives there anymore, and it's dried up. It's the biggest blunder in the world of mistreating your water. You've got to look after every part, I think. You just don't use it and waste. Mm-hmm. A lot of people do. You get into all that when you... I wouldn't know that normally as a human being, you know.
So this is an industry standard?
Yeah, in Alberta. We're very rigid with environment here. So water treatment is a big part of the oil and gas industry. Wastewater has to be treated to put it back more than perfect, more than what you extract from the river or the lake or wherever you get it.